All right, what's going on, beautiful people? I am so proud of myself. I am Linda S. Hustle, the Bodacious Lifestyle Coach for Black women over 50, and this is a Saturday night episode of Say Something Saturday. Listen, y'all, I'm coming with the real. I'm asking you, do you feel as a Black woman over 50 that life is passing you by? And if you do, right? And you have tried the self help books, the seminars, the workshops, the support groups, all of that, and you are still stuck in your life. My queen, my sister, it is time for a life coach. And so, what I wanted to talk about tonight is what keeps you from taking the next step so that you can level up your life, so that you can get the support that you need, the accountability that you need. What is it that you feel needs to happen before you can take the next step so that you can fill in the gap from where you are to where you want to be? There is a gap there between those two, and you can self-help it all day long. You can do the workshops, the seminars, you can do all of that, but you got to ask yourself, why is it that even though, because I do believe at this stage of the game, if you are a Black woman 50 and above, I believe you have experience. You've got some trials and tribulations that you've overcome, some challenges that you've overcome, some obstacles that you have overcome, all of the good stuff. But if you still feel like life is passing you by, if you know that there's more to life, but you really don't know what more is, if you keep setting goals and milestones and you self-sabotage just when you're right about ready to really get it cracking, you fall back. My love, my queen, it is time for a life coach. And I know there's a lot of life coaches out here. I know sometimes it just seems like, okay, well, give me some clarity on what a life coach is. Let me talk to you about what it is that I do, because I don't know what other life coaches are doing, but let me talk to you a little bit about how do I do what I do, and why did I become a life coach in the first place? I became a life coach because I found myself feeling like life was passing me by. I was a successful hairstylist for about 30 years. And it really wasn't until I was about 52. I'm 59. I'll be 60 years old June 5th. I got about 33 more days. And I'm going to walk into a whole different um, time in my life. I'm excited about 60, right? And so I was feeling like life was passing me by. I had been doing hair for a while, and while I loved hair, after about 30 years of doing hair, after being on your feet for 30 years, standing in a certain position for 30 years, blow drying hair for 30 years, flat ironing hair for 30 years, these are jobs that we made good money. Let me just keep it 100. But you stood in a certain place. So it's very hard on the body. That's the part about hairstyling that the stylists don't really talk about. My hands are starting to cramp up, and I needed to start thinking about what was next for me, because I don't know what happens to old hairdressers, but I wasn't going to be one, because I didn't feel like my body would be able to withstand it, right? For another, 12, 13 years. So I have been doing hair. If you ever been to a salon, you know that stylists are bootleg therapists, right? I was already giving advice. I was already, helping a lot of my clients through some things. And it was actually one of my clients who said, Linda, you know what? You really need to think about being a life coach. I didn't really know anything about life coaches. I didn't even know who Lisa Nichols was. I knew who Les Brown was. I knew who Tony Robbins was, but Lisa Nichols is huge in the life coaching world. And yet I did not know about her. And what I've learned as I have gone through the certification process, set up my business and everything like that, is a lot of Black women aren't into self-development, self-enrichment. It's just not something that we do. And I personally feel that we need it more than anybody else out here, because we've been through some things. Now, I'm a life coach. I'm not a therapist. So now I can't help you with the trauma and all that, but you can go get the trauma, taken care of, get your therapy on, and then come back to me once you've gotten that out of the way. Because You know, a lot of us are living life through the rearview mirror instead of the front mirror, the front window, the windshield. And you need to handle that, because I am very clear on who I am, what I can do, and what I can assist you with, what I can teach you, what I can show you. And I just don't do the trauma. So anywho, got my certification and everything, because I was starting to feel like life is passing me by. And I don't want you to really put in the comments if you feel like life is passing you by, but I do want you to ask yourself the question, is this it? I want you to ask yourself that, because this is what I asked myself. This is how I knew something was not right in my life. I don't want to say wrong, because I don't like that word. But I knew that something wasn't quite right in my life, because I woke up one day and I said, is this it? Is this all there is to my life? If you have ever asked yourself that question and you brave enough, I want you to put a 1 in the comments, right? Because it starts there. It starts with you being honest, brutally honest with yourself, where you are in your life, how you feel about the way your life is going, the trajectory of your life. And y'all, this has nothing to do with money. This has nothing to do with if you graduated from high school, if you didn't graduate, if you got a GED, if you got a PhD, a bachelor's, a bachelor, AA. This has nothing to do with that. I'm talking about being fulfilled. I'm talking about being at peace with where you are in your life. I'm talking about the freedom. Are you feeling free and fulfilled and fabulous and phenomenal in your life? Because a lot of us are making money, have the corner office overlooking, some of us the ocean in California, but you can still feel stuck. And I really want you to think about how a life coach could help you get over the hump, how a life coach could help you achieve your goals, right? Move through the obstacles so that you can make the shifts necessary to get the powerful results that you are looking for. Listen, a lot of us read a lot of books, a lot of self-help, right? Like I said, go to the seminars, the workshops, the conventions. You got a lot of information here. But let me tell you something. Information without implementation is merely frustration. A lot of us are walking encyclopedias. We'll get on YouTube and do some things, and we might listen to the great gurus while we're brushing our teeth in the morning, getting dressed, all of that. But I still have to ask you, if you feel like life is passing you by and you have done a lot of different things to get started, is it possible that you need accountability? Is it possible that for whatever reason you can't seem, I'm heating up, you can't seem to take you to the other side where you need to be? Is that possible? And then you have to ask yourself, if you have these goals, if you have these wishes, if you have these dreams, and you still find yourself, for whatever reason, not being able to fulfill those dreams, and you got to ask yourself, what is missing? A lot of us don't realize how valuable life coaching can be, because our mamas didn't have life coaching, our grandmamas didn't have it. But it's a new way and it's a new day, y'all. So let me talk to you about my definition of life coaching and what a life coach is. A life coach is a guy who teaches you how to stop talking about it and be about it. Okay? How to show you and teach you how to achieve your goals, not keep talking about them. How to move through obstacles, not keep talking about the obstacles, right? So that you can make the powerful shifts necessary to become the person that you need to be. Because here's the deal, y'all. You can write down all the goals in the world, move through obstacles, right? And make some certain shifts in your life. But until those shifts transfer or transform you into the person that you need to be, to make the moves that you need to make in order to get those things that you say you want to have, you're just spinning your wheels. You're simply spinning your wheels. So what a life coach does is a life coach gets with you and says, okay, what are your goals? What are some of the reasons why you think you're not moving through your goals? See, we go deep. It's not merely a thing of, oh, I just procrastinate. Oh, I just don't have a plan. Okay, well, let's talk about this. You say you want this, right? Yeah, I want it. And you say you can almost taste it. You want it so bad, right? Yeah, I can almost taste it. So why do you think you don't have it? See, we got to go deep. We got to look at where you are, how long you've been where you are, what have you done to move yourself in the direction. And done is an action verb. So a lot of times we said in our head, we got to get out of our head and get into action. So a life coach is going to create a plan of action. I call it the Bodacious Life Blueprint because I am the Bodacious Life Coach. And bodacious is a combination of the words bold and audacious. I want you to become the bold and audacious person that you were born to be. I teach you how to unleash your inner badass. That person that, every now and then you let them kind of have that conversation with you. And that's when you know there's more to life, that you're not really firing on all your pistons, which kind of then takes you backwards because you know that you're supposed to be out here crushing life. You know this, you feel this, but there's something that just doesn't allow you to move forward in the direction that you know you're supposed to move in. I am that gentle kick in the pants that says, hey, look, you either gonna bust a move or you gonna just be ordinary and average. And you got to make the decision. You've got to make the decision. Who do you want to be? Why do you want to be that person? What do you want? Why do you want it? Because a lot of y'all don't even know what you want. You want what your mama wants you to want. You want what your daddy wanted you to want. You want what, pays good money, pays the bill. But is that your heart's desire? We at a stage in our life, if you are 50 and up, you are at a stage in your life where you got to ask yourself, how long we going to keep marching to somebody else's drumbeat? When are we going to start blazing our own trail? Right? When are we going to start blazing our own trail? So what I am the cheerleader. I am the hype squad. I am the unapologetic person that is constantly in your ear saying, you got this, you can do this. And if there are some things, some fears, some things of that nature that we need to deal with, then we're going to deal with that. I'm the person who's going to say, okay, you got to have a strategy. See, sometimes we stay in our head so much, there is no strategy. You got to have strategy. You got to have a way to keep going when you don't feel like it, because too many of us are moving and working with our feelings. If we feel like it that day, oh, we're going to get to moving. If we don't feel like it that day, oh, well, we're not going to do it. Oh, no. A life coach isn't going to let you feel your way through life. We're going to activate your awesomeness, right? So the first thing we're going to do is during that first session, y'all, which is speaktolinda.com. This is how it starts. You go to speaktolinda.com. That's where you have your complimentary 30-minute Ignite Your Life session, right? And during that session, I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm not going to be doing a lot of talking because I need to see where you are. I need to see if we would even be a good fit, because if you're not ready to take 100% responsibility for your life, 100% responsibility for where you are in your life, 100% responsibility and leave the excuses behind, you're not ready for a life coach. You step to a life coach when you realize that there's more. And you, for whatever reason, there's no judgment, no condemnation. For whatever reason, you can't seem to get to the other side. So there's two choices. You can either live your life woulda, coulda, shoulda, or you could live your life planning, strategizing, and getting clarity on what it is that you need to become the person that you know deep down inside it hurts sometimes, because you are not the person that you know you were born to be. So how do you know you need a life coach? When some of the plans that you had from 20 to 30 years ago still haven't manifested. You know you need a life coach when you're sick and tired of coming up with reasons and excuses about why you haven't really created the transformation in your life that you know you need to make. You know you need a life coach when, excuse me, you know you need a life coach when it gets harder and harder for you to convince yourself that you really crushing life and you know you're not. You know you need a life coach when you're frustrated, right? It doesn't mean you sad or your life sucks. You just frustrated. You just know that it's time to level up. It's time to and have a higher standard for yourself. And you realize that you've just sat back. You've gotten comfortable. And you realize that the comfort zone is really the dead zone. That's where dreams go to die, in the comfort zone. And if you are like ready to really say, let's go, let's do this. Like, I really got some dreams and goals and things I want to do. And I'm of age now, and I don't know how much time I have left, but I'm not going to spend that time being average, ordinary, run of the mill, mediocre, stagnant, settling. That is when you know it's time for a life coach. Now, if you cool being ordinary, you cool just going along to get along, you cool marching to other people's drum beat and walking their trail instead of blazing your own, then keep doing that. But if there's this burning inside you and it just won't let go, like that's when I knew I needed to do something. Like, it just wouldn't let go. I tried so hard, and I know this might sound crazy, but I tried so hard to just go along to get along. I tried so hard to not really step into my purpose. And I've known for years I was a great communicator. I've always loved helping people, assisting people. I've always loved my Black sisters. That's why I was a hairstylist. And I love that what I really did, y'all, I didn't just do hair, I did hearts. Hairstylists do hearts more than anything because we hear a lot. We hear our clients' hopes and wishes and dreams. And when things aren't quite working out, they talk to us about that. So I'm not surprised that I'm a life coach. But what I am surprised about is how we as Black women, we will do so much for everybody else. We will put our house up to get somebody out of jail. We will work overtime to help someone else make their dreams come true. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But at this stage of your life, if you are a Black woman 50 and up, queens, it is your season now. It is your time now. You got to ask yourself, what is it that I really want? Why don't I have it? And what am I willing to do to get it? What sacrifices are you willing to do for you? What sacrifices are you willing to do for you, queen? So again, if you're not where you want to be in your life, if you know your confidence isn't where it needs to be, if that mind talk, that negative Nelly, that negative Nadine, that negative Nancy, that negative Natasha has been ruling you for quite some time, and every time you get ready to bust a move, she's like, "You sure you can do that? Why you want to do that? You should have been done that. You want to do this at this stage of your life, at this age? Well, hell, if you still living, if you still breathing, you can be achieving. If you are still alive, you can still thrive. Hell yeah, right now. But if you need somebody to take you by the hand and lead you down the path to your next best life, I need you to go to speaktolinda.com, get your complimentary 30-minute Ignite Your Life session with yours truly. And during that session, I'm going to let you answer some powerful questions. Y'all, we got to ask ourselves the powerful, life-changing, transformational questions. Like, what do you want? For real. What do you want? Why do you want it? And who do you have to become to get it? Y'all, because the person that you are today, isn't the person that is going to allow you to really create the life that you desire and deserve. Because if that were the case, you would have that life. And so I say this because I too struggled. This person that you see right now, full of confidence, full of zest, full of zeal, knowing I'm all that in the bag of chips. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I did not, I wasn't comfortable with that person. I had to get comfortable with me. You got to get comfortable with you. You've got to create a whole new mindset. You got to have a midlife mindset makeover. You got to be willing to face some hard truths that you have been sleeping on you, that you haven't really tapped fully into your gifts and talents, because sometimes we can be a little afraid of our gifts and talents, right? Because that means we're going to have to level up. That means we can no longer stay ordinary and average if we were to really unleash and become who we were born and destined to be. You can design your own destiny. You can dare to dream. You can take risks, even now at this stage of your life. And that's why, as a bodacious lifestyle coach for Black women over 50, I do what I do because I know the programming that society has out there. They have us thinking about retirement. They have us thinking about downshifting in life. They have us thinking that once we retire and we got the pensions and the Social Security and all that, that's when we're going to start living. No, ma'am. I reject that thought process. We are supposed to be living now. We're supposed to be going for our dreams now. We're supposed to be traveling now, seeing the world now. All that stuff on your vision board is on there for a reason. And if you have not basically achieved those things on your vision board, and year after year after year after year, you the first to register for the vision board party, you the first one there, you drinking the mimosas, listening to Jill Scott and Erykah Badu in the background, putting the same stuff on the vision board that you've been put on for the last 10 years, and ain't none of that stuff come true. You need a life coach, because there is a disconnect between what you say you want and how you're going about getting it. And unless the confidence and the courage and the esteem and the belief in you is at an all-time high, it is not going to happen. And that's what life coaches help you do. They help you start believing in yourself again. They help you they teach you. I'm going to take the word help out. They teach you how to believe in yourself again, how to have the courage and the guts to go for what you know. Because there's one thing having the dreams, but there's another thing in having the guts to go after the dream, having the guts to be great. It takes guts to be great. It takes guts to take your life to the next level. And most people cannot do that alone. And the people who have the life coaches, the people that have the support, are the ones who really take their life to a whole different level. So again, Linda S. Husser, the bodacious lifestyle coach for Black women over 50. I want you to go to speaktolinda.com. Get on my calendar for your complimentary 30-minute Ignite Your Life session. Because ladies, if you are not going for your dreams and this is really what you want, you can, it's here. It haunts you sometimes. Life is not going to be fulfilling. And I believe that 99% of the people in the world are unfulfilled, frustrated, sad, settling, existing. And it doesn't have to be that way, but you do have to take the steps necessary to become the person that you know you were born to be. And the first step starts with accountability, strategizing, getting a plan, right? Getting clarity. And that is what a life coach teaches you how to do. So with that, I'm going to sign off. Happy Saturday, beautiful people. Again, speaktolinda.com if you would love to have a complimentary 30-minute Ignite Your Life session with me so that you can get out of your head and get out of action and get into action. Get out of your head and get into action. Action is the antidote to all of the things that you say got you stuck, got you feeling like life is passing you by, got you feeling stagnant, that you're existing and not living. And whenever you get sick and tired of that, go to speaktolinda.com and let me show you, teach you, convince you that you don't have to be stuck. You don't have to be stagnant. Even now at this stage of your life, you still got time to create the life that you desire and deserve. I didn't really start stepping into who I was until I was 52 years old. Now at 59, soon to be 60, it's coming together. And I do believe that we're on this journey and there's never an end to it. But you got to get on the path to your next best life. Some of y'all are way over here. You on this path, that path, the sign, you at the fork in the road, and you keep coming to the fork in the road, but you won't go down the path. And the path says, break through this way. That's what the path says. It's a sign that says, break through this way, and we still take the other path. Because you are going to have to give something of yourself now. It ain't going to be easy. But Black women, we've always had what it took to handle our business. I'm asking you now to handle your business for you. Put you first. Now is the time to truly make your dreams come true. Stop talking about it and really be about it. So I hope to see you soon at your Ignite Your Life session. Speaktolinda.com. Speaktolinda.com. Speak to Linda and change your life. Speak to Linda and ignite your life. Speak to Linda and get a life. Some of y'all just need to get a life. Speak to Linda and live your best life. Speak to Linda and live your life like it's golden, like Sister Jill Scott said. So y'all have a phenomenal Saturday, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Oh my goodness.